Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we are coming to you live from Los Angeles, California. And if this is your first time tuning in, our show will help you to question your career reality. Now, this show is for you if you are considering a career in the entertainment industry. Our guests will provide you with tips, advice, and resource information on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in the entertainment industry. And our guests work in various professions, and they're at different stages of their career. So that means that we will definitely have someone on the show who will be able to help you with all of your show business career questions. And you can listen to any of our past shows by going to our archive page, and that's on the latalkradio.com website. So just go to the search link and type in Question Reality Radio, the Channel 1 link, and then there's a drop-down box, and then you just look for us, and that takes you directly to our archive page. And we've had Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony winners, reality TV stars, producers, directors, actors, models, musicians. Oh my God, the list goes on and on and on. Stump people, any kind of people that are on the entertainment list. If they're working professionally in show business, we're going to have them on this show to give you entertainment career advice. Now, I also encourage you to download our free app. We just redid everything. We just redid the website. We got the new app for your Android and your iPhone. And that way you'll be able to listen to all the other exciting, informative shows that we offer here at LA Talk Radio as well. So to download the app, just go to the homepage of latalkradio.com, and the app is located at the bottom of the page, I believe on the right-hand side. So you definitely want to get that app because we got great shows. And also, our shows are available for download on iTunes under the podcast section and also on Stitcher.com. So just go to those websites. Again, type in Question Reality Radio in the search box. Now, if you want to find out about our future guests, you have to go to another website, which is our official website, questionrealityradioshow.com. questionrealityradioshow.com. And that way you can see all of our guests. We're usually booked 6 months to a year in advance. Right now we're booked till July, but we are currently booking for the remainder of the year. So if you work professionally in the entertainment industry, you want to promote yourself or your film or your music, or I guess if you want to promote yourself walking down a runway, whatever you want to promote. If you work professionally, please go to the website, not that one, questionrealityradioshow.com, and submit yourself, because we'd love to book you on the show where you can be heard by worldwide people who have interest in you or your product. So definitely do that, questionrealityradioshow.com. Now, as always, you know, towards the end of February, what is it in the entertainment industry that is the most exciting thing? It's the Oscars! Woohoo! Of course, that's not until next Sunday, but Lord knows no one wants to work in the entertainment industry on the night of the Oscars, because we are glued to the TV. And this year is no exception. I will not be doing a show next week, but we have what I like to call our resident film critic / editor / female extraordinaire on the show today. I love having her. She is so hooked in. If you don't know Betty Jo Tucker by now, then I don't know. You're not in the entertainment business, because Betty Jo Tucker is where it is. We love this woman. We have her on every year. We try to have her on every year to do sort of her she does film predictions for us, and she also gives us a little insight into her favorite movies, ones that she's so nice. I try to dig out the raspberries from her, but she's so super sweet and nice. She's like known as the nice film critic. So if you want your film reviewed by a nice film critic, as opposed to those acrid tongued people who give bad reviews, you'd want to be reviewed by Betty Jo Tucker because she's the sweetest woman in the world. She tells us what her favorite movies are and why, and what her predictions are. We try to get through more than just like Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, but we get on this show and we just talk and we never get through all the categories. But we're going to try to do better this year. For those who don't know her, go to her website right now. She's got several of them, but her main one is Betty Jo Tucker, BettyJoTucker, BettyJoTucker.com. She also is on ReelTalkReviews.com, REEL, like newsreel, ReelTalkReviews.com, and she's also on blogtalkradio.com, /Movie Attic Headquarters. And that is where you can get more than your fair share of Betty Jo Tucker. I love her name. I will not just say Betty or Betty Jo. It's going to be Betty Jo Tucker. I want a boat to name Betty Jo Tucker. I think anyone would want the name Betty Jo Tucker. It just rolls off the tongue. I think she should have her own cook and cake line. I think there should be a perfume. Betty Jo Tucker. Oh, it just is endless with me with this woman. Now, just in case you have not heard a show with Betty Jo Tucker, let me tell you a little about her. She serves as editor and lead film critic for Real Talk Movie Reviews. She also writes film commentary for the Colorado Senior Beacon and is the award-winning author of one of my favorite books ever, Confessions of a Movie Addict. Oh my God, this book is so funny. If you don't have it, you got to go get it now. It's on Amazon. Confessions of a Movie Addict. And also the author of Susan Sarandon, A True Maverick. She hosts a radio show like I do, Movie Addict Headquarters. And you're going to learn everything you want to know about movies if you tune into that talk show. She knows far more than I do. And also, and that's on Blog Talk Radio. So check out Movie Addict Headquarters on Blog Talk Radio. Boy, that's a mouthful. Blog Talk Radio. If I was high, I could never say that. Using the pen names of Harry and Elizabeth Lawrence, Betty Jo Tucker and her husband Larry co-wrote this wonderful book called It Had to Be Us, and it's in an award-winning romantic memoir that's now in the early stages of film adaptation. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that one. She's also a member of the San Diego Film Critics Society and the Online Film Critics Society. So we are going to ask her everything there is to know, maybe in 5 minutes, of what it's like to be a film critic. You know, we asked her some questions last year. We had like 27 questions for her. We didn't get through all of them, but we might ask some repeat questions because we have a lot of people that from last year, and I keep a file. We had so many people writing in asking questions, so some of them are repeat questions, but for different people that wrote in. So we're going to ask questions like, is there really, which is a big, huge question from a lot of people, is there really such a thing as an objective film criticism? So we're going to ask her to repeat on that for new listeners. And also, why aren't there more female movie reviewers? That was a big one. We're going to get her opinion on that. And also, how do you collect information while you're watching a film? A lot of people want to know how a film critic watches it and then is able to write such a detailed review. A lot of people who get negative critiques on their film, they want to know what about that good part? You missed that. What about that part? So we want to know, how did they even do it? So we got so many questions. So without further ado, let's get her on. I don't want to talk the whole damn show. Welcome, Betty Jo Tucker.
Oh my gosh, Priscilla, I am so excited to be back on your show. I just love to hear your introduction.
Wow! Well, you know what?
Yeah, and Priscilla, this is such a big day for me.
No!
It really is. I want to share it with you and with your listeners because my new book, Cinema Stanzas, Rhyming About Movies, was released just a few days ago, but today, and this is because your show is on today, my wonderful publisher, Denise Casino of Bestseller Services, decided to coincide with your show, because we were going to talk about the Oscars and about the books. She put a massive promotional blitz over on Twitter, and I checked the ratings, the rankings of books just an hour ago, and Cinema Stanzas is now number 4 in the category on Kindle of entertainment, humor and entertainment, movies, guides and references. So it's number 4. So maybe some of your listeners would want to order that little book and bring it up to number 1 while we're talking on the phone here on the show.
Well, I tell you, I don't know why they wouldn't. It's only $3.99, and
right.
It's so funny. It's hysterically funny.
And already got 2 5-star reviews.
Oh my God! People have got to go check this book out. I mean, first of all, for $3.99, it's worth $3.99. We pay more than that to see a comedian at a club, right? And we don't have to. And no, we order your book. We don't even have to pay additionally for a damn 2-drink minimum at the clubs, and you're going to get funny. So $3.99. We worked so hard, Denise and I did, to put that book together and have it finished by the time of your show, when I was to come on the show. My God, I worked you to the bone, didn't I? I didn't even know I was working you like a dog behind the scenes.
Remember you asked me, I think it was last year, to read some of the poems about movies.
Right.
And then you liked them. You thought they were so funny.
Loved them.
So that kind of was, that kind of spurred us on to get.
Oh my God, Betty Jo Tucker! First of all, love this title, Cinema Stanzas, Rhyming About Movies. Love that, Cinema Stanzas. That is such a great title. I don't know who came up with that.
Well, Denise did.
Denise. Love that. Love that. And what it is, for those of you who haven't gone yet, surely if you're listening by now, you've already gone over to Amazon and you got your Kindle and you got the ebook already, but just in case you haven't, what this book is about, and I'll let Betty Jo go into further details, but what it is it combines film criticism and poetry. So I'm going to let you take it away. First of all, we can find it on Amazon. Is there any other place that we can find it first? Let's find out where we can find it.
Well, that's the place to go, is to Amazon, to the Kindle store, and of course on my website, BettyJoTucker.com. There's a big page about the book with a lot of details on it. And,
oh my God!
And I think you're mentioned on that page.
What? Oh my God! You got to send me the link. I love to see where I'm mentioned. I don't want to die without being mentioned. I got to be mentioned at least 10 or 15 times before I kick the bucket. Let me ask you a question. Now, tell us. I know, obviously, we see the inspiration was the deadline coming on my show. But tell us now, what exactly are we going to find in the book? What are we going to get for our $3.99?
Well, you are going to get 70 poems about films, and they're incorporated into the reviews. And and then there are all genres are included, and you're going to read a very amazing foreword by Phil Hall, who's an author himself and an actor, and was on the governing committee for online film critics for a number of years. And his foreword sort of explains. He starts out by saying this may seem like an odd sort of book, which it is. It's kind of an odd book.
We want odd books. I mean, come on. We don't want the typical standard blah, blah, blah. Who the hell's written a book on cinema stanzas rhyming about movies? Only you,
Nobody else.
Tucker. Only you can create this. Only you have this imagination. So, now at 5:30, what I forgot to mention in my intro was that at the 5:30 mark, it's 5:17, we're going to have Betty Jo read us, how about 3 stanzas about your top 3 Oscar picks, and let's do comedy, drama, and sci-fi categories. So, have Larry do a little work behind the scenes and pick 3 stanzas. We're going to have you read them from your book. Can we do that?
All right. So let's start out with my favorite movie of the year, which I had no idea would usually I'm at odds.
Yeah,
Brooklyn.
Okay, so let's talk about the best pictures. For those of you who don't know, it's The Big Short. The nominations are The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Mad Max, Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, Room, and Spotlight. That's best picture. I did not, do you know, this is terrible, but Albert and I have only seen in the movie theaters The Martian. Now, of course, I got most of these on because I'm a member of SAG. You know how we get the the free copies to review. I have most of these, but we only saw The Martian in the big theater. So, unfortunately, Betty Jo, I'm gonna be listening to your review and taking your word as the word of the Lord on these pictures.
Good. I like that.
Your
we'll do
Brooklyn, right?
do Brooklyn and sci-fi. That's the drama.
That's the
sci-fi.
drama.
We will do The Martian.
The Martian.
And the comedy. I don't think there was a comedy on the
Never
list.
is. Is there ever a damn comedy?
They called The Big Short a comedy, so I will read that. That's not one of my favorites, but I will read The Big Short. So that was. Okay, everybody else thinks it's a comedy. I don't. But let's go with Brooklyn first.
Okay.
And I call this From Ireland with Love. And here's the poem that I wrote and incorporated it into the review.
And this is what you're going to be getting if you buy your book, right? Okay.
Right.
Each one of these that you read will be in your book. Okay.
Yes, each one is in the book. And here is From Ireland with Love. Across the sea she sails one day to New York, where she plans to stay. Leaving her home makes her feel bad. We sense her pain and why she's sad. But Ireland holds no future there. Will she find hope, or is it rare? She needs a job and some new friends, so we care deeply how this film ends. 2 men love her. Which will she choose? She must decide on one to lose. Saoirse Ronan draws us right in. Her acting and awards should win. A poignant movie, Brooklyn imparts a sense of place and loving hearts. Old-fashioned? Yes, and so well made, with period scenes that will not fade. True classics should be cherished more, and Brooklyn is one you'll adore. What a surprise that it appears so lovely now in later years. So that's the poem, and I think it is.
Oh, that is so nice. I haven't even seen the movie, and now that poem has inspired me to want to see the movie. You should be getting a sales commission from this book, I think the studio should be giving you a damn sales commission because I'm now inspired to see it. I was not inspired to see that movie. I thought, oh no, and Albert, God, you know he hates anything romantic. So I was like, but I actually thought, I want to go, I want to see it now. Just
well, yes, and they should have used that poem because most of the PR, I mean, it just looks like a blah movie. And it's not. It's just incredible. So I highly recommend that.
The trailer didn't even inspire me. It didn't. I wasn't even moved by it. Maybe that's why. If they had Betty Jo Tucker's stanza,
they used the poem.
that would have surely drawn more. Okay, let's go for the next one. This is
sci-fi. This is sci-fi.
The Martian.
The Martian. Okay, here we go with The Martian. And I call this No Place Like Home.
Oh.
All alone and stranded is he, left behind with his misery, an astronaut who's presumed dead. To survive, he must use his head. No one knows he is still alive on Mars and struggling to survive. He finds a way to contact Earth, the far-off planet of his birth. But how can he be rescued here? Will his old crew be coming near? And can he last until the day they pass by Mars while on their way? Suspense and space fill up the screen. The Martian is a must-be-seen. It truly is adventure bold, a tale of guts that's so well told. Matt Damon is a worthy lead. He makes us feel his every need. All other actors nail their parts. We see their fears and know their hearts. Plus, planet Mars looks very real. And getting home, that's the big deal.
Oh my God! You encapsulated that film. That was fantastic. Oh, I felt it, Betty Jo Tucker. That really just covered the whole entire film. You just covered the whole entire film just in that little stanza.
In one poem.
You're brilliant.
And the comedy, which is I think is not a comedy. I'm going to read The Big Short.
The Big Short. Why did I couldn't even tell you who the hell is in it. I don't even know. And that's terrible that I don't. But I can't remember it.
Well, this will help you, I think.
All right, let's see.
And I call this The High Price of Greed.
Oh.
Some men knew that Wall Street would crash. They bet on it for lots of cash. The Big Short tells about these men, plus what happened, where and when. The film moves fast to tell its tale. It stars actors like Christian Bale, who plays a broker warning folks that housing stocks are now just jokes. Hard to believe, most others say. They sure don't want facts in their way. So bankers go on with bad loans and people start to lose their homes. And who gets hurt in all this mess? No banks or brokers, you can guess. We bailed them out, helped them succeed, while others suffered for their greed. The Big Short made me quite angry. Don't tell me it's a comedy. And film techniques confuse me too, although clever and so brand new. This movie does help us to see how folks got stuck with misery. Will it happen again, we ask? Preventing that is still a task.
Now I remember the trailer for this. I was not interested in that one either. I remember that trailer. And I thought, what? After I saw the trailer, Betty Jo, I said, what is that about? I have no idea. People don't realize when they're making a trailer, and this goes out to the director and editor, but you gotta make people want to see the film, especially when it costs millions and millions and millions of dollars to make. And I tell you, some trailers you can see and you get so excited, you go, ooh, I want to see it. And you go to the movie, Betty Jo Tucker, and the movie sucks, but the trailer is the best thing about the movie. And then sometimes you see a trailer and you go, oh, I'm not interested in that. Then there's nothing else available. You go see it and you're going, God, that was really good, and the trailer sucked. So it's really tricky to get a trailer that really hits the spot. But I remember that trailer, and I did not even understand what the movie was about after I saw it. I understand your poem more.
It still is very fuzzy to me. They jumped around, with back and forth a lot of characters and just added cutesy little scenes here and there that, just took me out of the movie, so I was not, able to follow it. But at any rate, it is one of the best, Best Picture nominees, and one of the few that I wasn't too fond of this year. That was just, yeah.
Oh, well,
anyway.
I love Christian Bale. I think he's such a sexy man, but I just wasn't willing to spend an hour's worth of wages on him to go see the movie because I didn't like the trailer. But just tell us a little bit about the rest of them, because I'm sure you've seen all of them. Okay, we know how you feel about The Big Short. What about Bridge of Spies? How did you feel about that?
Well, Bridge of Spies I didn't review, but I thought it was an excellent movie. I don't think you can go wrong with Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks. I mean, whatever they do, it's going to be okay. I did like that. The other movie that was named as Best Picture, Mad Max, Fury Road, I didn't review that either because it had, I have trouble watching films that have, sort of slice and dice editing and fast action, and they give me kind of a migraine.
Right.
So I don't like to review a movie where I felt, kind of sick watching it. Larry loved it. Larry loved it. My husband.
Albert would have loved it then. He likes to cut them up, slice and dice them thing. And Murder, Death, Kill, Albert is there. He loves that. I can't watch it. I don't like
Well, Albert loved Star Wars, and so did I, The Force Awakens, and you know what? That movie actually did get 5 Oscar nominations. So, I mean, why couldn't they have made? They only nominated 8 movies, and they could have nominated 10. And I would think Star Wars would have been one that could have been on the list of nominees.
Absolutely, we don't know what's going on with that. I don't know why they're not giving Star Wars any love.
Yeah, it really was an excellent film, and of course I did do a poem of that. But we've got. I mean, we're almost halfway through the show.
Well, what about Revenant? The Revenant. How'd you feel?
Oh, The Revenant. Oh my gosh, I've watched that twice, and I'm ready to see it again. But I'll be so exhausted. That film, oh man, it really. Here's the poem. The Revenant grabs onto you and draws you in as few films do. Intensity throbs to the max. Watching this film, you can't relax. A bear attack seems very real. When it happens, you'll have to squeal. That's not all the hero goes through. He's left to die by friends untrue. Survival is his major goal, and Leo plays this crucial role. A fur trader who wants to see justice done, and so do we. Everything works in this movie. Cast and cinematography deserve awards for their work share. Director, too, for his great care. Staying alive, the film's main theme, propels the plot just like a beam. We watch amazed at what we see, hoping it ends in victory. I really like this movie.
Oh, God. Well, I'm going to go see that. The Revenant it is. We're going to go see it this weekend. What about Room?
Room is a hard to watch movie, but it's very well done. And I did not review that one, but I'm very impressed with the actress who had the main role of the mother that was raising this young little boy in this very tight little room. And then Brie Larson, and Jacob Tremblay was the young child. He's just so talented, and it's kind of a sort of a downer. It kind of makes you sad, but I don't want to tell you any more about it except that it's well done and the performances are excellent.
And what about the last movie, Spotlight? What did you feel? Why? Spotlight. Oh, I did. It isn't in the book, but I did because I thought maybe you would ask. Here's this poem: expose the sin,
Find out the truth and tell it all, no matter who must take the fall. Reporters learn of priests gone bad and cover-ups that make them mad. A search for facts behind the crime consumes their work for a long time. Spotlight the film reveals all this. It's one movie you should not miss. Boston Globe folks deserve our praise, and so to them a glass I raise. Some future kids might now be saved. That's why I wrote this poem and raved.
Wow! I like it. Well,
it's
you know what?
good.
I was surprised, but kind of happy because people get on me about my love for Sylvester Stallone, but he was nominated for actor in a supporting role in Creed, and I was so happy because I love Sylvester Stallone. I don't know why.
Well, he's lovable, I think, as Rocky. I mean, how many Rocky movies have we had? And it's about
true.
time.
He's
it's
kind
about
of
time.
like a relative. He's kind of like a grandfather now, but
I know.
at times,
I think he'll win. I think he'll win that category. I would prefer that Tom Hardy from The Revenant would win, but I'm pretty sure that it's going to be Sylvester Stallone. He's kind of the sentimental favorite. So that's what I think will happen in that particular category. But on the these movies that have been nominated for Best Picture, usually there's a front runner that you can put your money on.
Yeah.
But it seems to me now it's kind of a three-way race among Mad Max, which got 10 nominations,
wow.
The Revenant, which got 12 nominations, and Spotlight, which got 6. But The Big Short, I'm hearing a lot of things, for that. But I'm hoping that The Revenant wins.
Okay,
and
so your pick is The Revenant to win.
I think so.
All right,
I hope
we're locking it in, Betty Jo Tucker. What about actor in a leading role?
Leo is a cinch. It's about time. I mean, that
Can you
Leo,
believe he's never won a damn Oscar as phenomenal as he is?
And he's been nominated 6 times. Well, this makes the 6th time that he's been nominated, and
he's going to be quality. He's going to win, and he's going to go, Rose, I won. Rose, I won.
Yeah,
Was it
he
Rose
should win.
from the Titanic?
He should definitely win. Yeah,
Now,
I hope so.
What about actress in a leading role? Who are you leaning towards?
Well, I loved Saoirse Ronan in Brooklyn, but I don't think she's going to win. I think Brie Larson in The Room is probably going to be the winner in the actress in a leading role.
Actress, and what about actor in a supporting role?
And that would be Sylvester
Stallone.
Sylvester Stallone, that's right.
Oh, well, they'll probably go with Christian Bale because he's very popular in Hollywood. But I hope Sylvester Stallone. I'm going to keep my little fingers crossed. I don't think he has an Oscar either. Oh, does he have one for Rocky? Do we know? I don't know.
I'm not. Maybe he won for writing. Something outside of being on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
what
so.
What about actress in a supporting role?
This is the tough one. This is really, really tough. Those actresses in these supporting roles, my Lord, they were so great. Every year I predict a tie just because I think it would be so much fun to have a tie, and so I would like to see a tie. These two, they were just fantastic. Kate Winslet in Steve Jobs. Oh, what a terrific performance! And Alicia Vikander for The Danish Girl. She was marvelous in that. So look for a tie, and then we'll celebrate if it actually happens.
Now, last category, because I know you like your animated film, so I know that you've got an idea of which one is going to win for best animated feature film.
I think it will be Inside Out.
Inside Out.
I hope it will be Inside Out. That was so clever. I mean, the script for that animated movie was high quality. That could be the one that wins, and I'm predicting that it will win.
Now we got to do director because directing's my favorite category. Give me who's going to win.
Oh, directing! This is tough. But why did they leave out Ridley Scott? He was, for The Martian. I thought
I don't understand that. That was beautifully directed. It was terse. It was concise. It was tight. It was really tight. There was no superfluous scenes, which drive me crazy. Everything had a purpose. I don't understand that at all.
I don't either, but every year it seems like they do something like that.
Yeah.
But I would go with I don't know how you can say that a movie is going to win without saying that the director is also going to win, although that doesn't happen all the time. Right. But I would go along with the director of the Revenant.
Yeah, me too.
What a job that was. That's Alejandro Iñárritu.
I wasn't going to touch it. I can't even touch it. I can't pronounce things with more than 3 syllables, but I'm glad you worked that one out.
And maybe George Miller would be the spoiler for Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah. And I gotta throw one of my favorite categories in there, which is writer for original screenplay. That's one of my favorites. And I was torn on this, Betty Jo Tucker, because I loved Straight Outta Compton and I liked Ex Machina. That was weird. That was a weird-ass movie, but I loved it. It really, I can usually figure movies out what the whole thing is about in like 5 minutes. With that movie, Ex Machina, I could not figure that out. I didn't see the ending to that. Do you remember that movie?
I do, and I was just hypnotized by that movie.
Me too.
It was marvelous.
Oh my gosh, it really was. I wish it would have been nominated for more categories, but I hope that it gets original screenplay because, I like Straight Outta Compton, but I've seen it before, but the acting was really, really good. Again, I didn't see Spotlight or Inside Out or Bridge of Spies, but I did see that Ex Machina. So, boy, that was fantastic.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
Well,
I would like it if that one won. That would be my favorite to win. I think it might have a chance, but there's so many people who just really loved Spotlight.
Right.
That would probably be the spoiler.
Son of a biscuit eater. Well, let's just keep our fingers crossed, Betty Jo Tucker. Now, let's get back to your book, Cinema Stanzas, rhyming about movies. Now, you said something what did you say? You had a statement, and you said something like you blame director Robert Altman and tap dancing for your journey into poetry. What did you mean by that? Because that's an interesting statement. What does that mean?
Well, I saw back in 2002, I believe it was, I saw a movie called Gosford Park.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I love that. Ooh.
Well, see, most people did. I did not like it, and Robert Altman was one of my favorite directors. But I didn't like I didn't like Gosford Park. It's for listeners that haven't seen it. It's sort of a mystery version of sort of a Downton Abbey, upstairs downstairs kind of show. But anyway, I started to write a review, and while I was writing the review, I started tapping my feet. It's sort of ball in the jack kind of thing, and this is what came out. You're invited for a weekend at a country estate. Pack your finest duds, wouldn't want to be late. Arriving in the drawing room, you're surrounded by class. Who's who and what's what? You are dying to ask. Doing the Gosford Park shuffle. First you try to put each guest in his or her place and match Philly's British accents with each handsome face. Then you meditate and cogitate with all of your might, hoping against hope everything turns out right. Doing the Gosford Park shuffle. Next you watch the butlers, maids, and such to learn about each one, but not too much. After shaking your head at the gossip going on, you ask yourself where all the action has gone. Doing the Gosford Park shuffle. finally, when you see that a murder is done, you're not surprised because you know the one who did the deed and when and why, so you chuckle at that bumbling inspector guy doing the Gosford Park Shuffle. After the film is over, you're curious to know why it caused Robert Altman's reputation to grow and won directing awards for the world to see despite all its faults. That's the true mystery, doing the Gosford Park Shuffle. So that pained me to do that. But
oh my God, Betty Jo Tucker. I was hearing like a whole original music score behind that. I'm telling you know that I got it, your next book, you could actually do a CD of rap. I see. That sounded like a full damn rap song, Betty Jo Tucker, did it not? I even heard the rap rhythms in there. You were doing a little MC Hammer. You were doing a little Salt and Pepper. I don't know. You were...
Well, then, thank you. I love that, but don't get me started. Since
then you've written like 70 film poems, which is amazing to me. I couldn't even imagine writing one, but 70 film poems, and you incorporated them into your reviews in this book. Now, these 70 film poems, where do they start from? Do they start from like the 60s to now, the 70s? Did you do some from each decade? What are the decades in some of the movies?
Well, the 2002 probably it started there with Gosford Park. And I didn't actually write any poems until then. A couple of years later, Altman came out with a Prairie Home Companion, which I loved. And so then, of course, I had to rave about a Prairie Home Companion to pay back Robert Altman for the job I did on Gosford Park. And then after that, every once in a while, I would just be sitting and trying to write a review, and then the poems would come. And so there are movies that go back to about 2002, but most of them are fairly current films.
Well, you got some on there. Yeah. Well, I scanned through that, and I understand that you've got some cinema stanzas from Star Wars. Excuse me, The Force Awakens, of course, The Martian, The Revenant, and you got small independent offerings like In the Dark, The Lives of Hamilton Fish, which I've never heard of, and With Child. I've never heard of these movies, so these are ones that I'd like to check out. And then you also represent various genres. You got of course, your drama, your comedy, your romance, your musicals, but you got horror in there, fantasy, which I can't imagine writing a poem about the horror, but I know Betty Jo Tucker can. Fantasy, mysteries, thrillers, of course, sci-fi and action. And you say that although some of the rhymes are a bit harsh, which I cannot imagine you writing a harsh play. You're just so gentle and loving, like a little lily pad whisper dream. But you say no poets were harmed during the creation of the book. Which
no.
Is
no
so
real poets.
It's meant to be a fun resource for your fans.
Yes, I just hope that they enjoy the poems, and I in fact, even at the beginning, I do a little kind of a poem for the readers, and I say, my film poems lurk within this book. I hope you like the way they look. Some are short and others are long. They came to me like in a song. Read them out loud and you will see how rhyming means so much to me. Though movies are my favorite things, I love the feel that rhyming brings. So read these poems and have some fun. Perhaps you'll smile when you are done. And that's what I hope. I hope that people reading the book do get a kick out of the poetry.
You get the best of both worlds in the book, Betty Jo Tucker. You get your poetry and you get your movies. You get poetry of movies. What more could you want? My goodness. So
Yay.
Again, get this book. It's called Cinema Stanzas, a rhyming little book of poems about movies, and it is on Kindle ebook on Amazon.com. So go there now and type that in, or you can just type Betty Jo Tucker and you'll be able to find it. And she has many other books, as we mentioned earlier, which I gotta tell you, you know how much I love that one you wrote. Oh my God, I think that is one of the funniest funniest books, Confessions of a Movie Addict. I still love that. That's my favorite. I haven't read the Cinema Stanzas yet, but I will. Now, real quick, Betty Jo Tucker, because we got to get something in here about some advice to our listeners. Have you published any other? First of all, have you published any other books at bestsellerservices.com? But Denise Casino was the publisher of the ebook, the award-winning ebook of It Had to Be Us, and she is Bestseller Services. So I have been with Denise, and this book, has her same flair. I call her Old Wizardly One. So I'm very, very pleased with all the work that she's done. Well, aspiring writers are always searching for self-publishing companies that are legitimate because they have so many scam companies out there now, and or literary agents. So do you have a literary agent, or is this a self-published book? Well, this is published by Bestseller Services, so right. that's not self-publishing. Okay. And I have self-published. I think you could call the let's see, what is the book called? I don't think you can. Yeah, I think the Confessions of it's been so long ago, 2001 for Confessions right. of a Movie Addict. That's self-publishing. Okay. And the Susan Sarandon books. Okay. Those are two with Wheatmark, and they're great. Okay. Too. I've had such good luck. With, I want to ask your advice, Betty Jo Tucker. I have a friend named Mason who has just finished a book. And now he's looking for a literary agent. What is your advice for someone who's just finished a book, and they need a literary agent? Because from what I understand, again, I'm not a writer. I don't know anything about this particular field, but from what I hear, it's very difficult to find a literary agent, especially for someone who's just written a book, because I guess agents are very much like agents in acting or any other category. They're not going to take you on unless it's a catch-22. They're not going to take you on unless you have credentials, and yet you need credentials to get an agent, et cetera, et cetera. So what is your advice, say, for my friend Mason, who's just written a book and he needs a literary agent? How can he go about doing that? Well, I haven't had an agent, so I'm not the one to comment on that. I'm really sorry about that, Priscilla. But I didn't I didn't go that direction. I think it's because of my advanced age. It takes so long to get an agent. I did find that out. And I didn't have the time. I didn't have the time left. I had to do these. Yeah. Okay. Well, then let's talk about how did you get this book? Let's talk about that. How would, say, if my friend wanted to take the book now and get it to the stage that your book is? His book's about matchmaking. I don't know if that matters, but it's about, matchmaking in today's, everybody's doing that Tinder thing, and they're on Match.com and all that. So it's a book about matchmaking. So how would he get his book to where you've gotten your book on? Well, how do you do that? I think that go to bestsellerservices.com, and I think that would be the place to start. And then Wizardly One, Denise Casino can give some advice. I know that she does a lot of book launches. She's done all my book launches, and she does do some publishing. So that would be the recommendation that I would make. Now, what's the difference between going to a company, say like bestsellerservices.com, which I don't know what the heck that is. I haven't checked them out yet, but I assume it's a publishing company where you can self-publish. Is that what it is? And so what's the difference between going there and trying to get a literary agent?
Well, going to Bestseller Services would be you would be able to get some very good advice from someone who knows what they're doing in terms of books that have a chance to be bestsellers. And if your book is already, even if your book is already published, she helps you launch it and does the PR for it. So she's not just interested in publishing books.
Okay.
She's interested in helping all authors, and I know she's very, very busy, but she's the person that I would go to for advice.
So this bestsellerservices.com is a website for Denise, who is like a consultant to help you get your book launched on, say, Kindle.
And
does she do it for you, or does she say, okay, this is what you need to do, and then you do it yourself?
Oh, no. At least for me, she knows how technologically challenged I am.
So she does it for you.
Yes, she definitely.
Well, that sounds like a really good deal. So
absolutely.
Everybody go and check out bestsellerservices.com. And we don't know if we'll get the special treatment that Betty Jo Tucker gets, because Betty Jo is a very special little being. But I'm sure that Denise will be able to help you. So anyone out there, if you want to write a book, or if you have and you need to get it to where Betty Jo Tucker's is, which is on Amazon, Kindle ebook, I'm sure that Denise will be able to help you, like she's helped Betty Jo Tucker. So I am so excited about this book, though, Betty Jo Tucker. But I'm excited about hopefully before I pass on into Valhalla, you got to get the Confessions. Which one is? No. It had to be you. That's the one. The film
had to be us. It had to be us.
Where are we with that? We need to get that
it's
done.
Hush Hush. It's still Hush Hush, but I think I feel very fortunate that there have been 3 screenplays written.
Yeah.
And that one of them is in the hands of I can't say who it is, but of a producer who's done A-list movies, and they're in the financial stages, and to say anything more about it would not.
We just want to know it's going somewhere, because oh my gosh, it has to go somewhere. I don't want to have to hear about it up when I'm in the pearly gates and they say, oh, well, it's they did it, and, it's a posthumous situation. So you got to get this done now, girl. We want to see it.
You feel like I feel about it, but then I hear from people that it took them 14 years to get the movie made, or 11 years, or something like that.
19 years. I think one of them was 19 years. I can't remember, last year. 19 damn years. Oh my God. Well, Betty Jo Tucker, thank you so much for being on the show. We love having you on. And I would love even more for you to become a New York bestseller. I don't know if that's possible, but you never know. I think
from your lips to God's ears.
I hear it in my mind. I'm seeing the psychic vision. I'm going to send you some juju over there. It sounds really fantastic, and I don't see why. I mean, crazier books have made it to the bestseller list, for God's sake. So,
well, that would be wonderful. I just am so pleased with the fact that you're excited about. That makes me very, very happy, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate. Well, I'm going to tell you. I just appreciate your help and support and interest. It really helps motivate me, and it's just always such a treat for me to come on your show and talk with you, Priscilla. Thank you.
I lust for our time together.
I'm pulling my ear, the lobe of my ear here.
I love it. You are a darling. You are a sweetheart. You are a gem. You're a diamond in the rough. I don't know anybody that I adore more than you that comes on our show, and we get such great feedback. And people say, we love Betty Jo Tucker. So you're much loved over here. And, I get emails sometimes in July and August asking me if you're coming on the show. So let's just consider you're coming back next year, and we will be watching the Oscars together, Betty Jo Tucker. So I got all your picks down, and let's see if Betty Jo Tucker's right. Get on over to Amazon right now and get that book. Woo! Cinema Stanzas, Rhyming About Movies. Say goodbye to your fans, Betty Jo Tucker.
Goodbye, dear listeners and fans, and Priscilla. It's been such fun, and I'll see you again, hopefully, next year, same time, same station.
You got it, Betty Jo Tucker. Okay, everybody, we'll see you not next week because that's Oscar night, but the following week I'll be back on track. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Say goodbye, Betty Jo.
Goodbye, Betty Jo. Goodbye, Priscilla.
Bye, Betty Jo. We'll see you next week on Question Reality. Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.